Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to Mind Blow Monday. Spoiler alert, ending of this video, there's gonna be another YouTube wrestling skit. The response I got was kind of a take it or leave it thing. There wasn't like high demand for it to come back, but I wanted to film another sequence, so I threw it in there. I was kind of not in the best mood and was feeling a little down, and it brought me back to a happier place when I beat up someone in a fictional fight. So yeah, had fun filming that. So spoiler alert for that. Anyways, continuing on with my wrestling exploration here. The next thing I want to talk about is another nice aspect of it, and that's the fourth wall breaks. So this kind of ties into what I was talking about last time with like the multiverse stuff, where they're acknowledging, you know, other businesses and stuff like that, and that's somewhat of a fourth wall break, because they're like talking about things outside of their company. They're like acknowledging things in the real world. And yeah, it's a fun little poke there, but most of the time when they do it, when they're acknowledging like other companies and other people within the companies, they're still somewhat within the rules of their own universe, because they're, you know, not like saying, hey, he went to this company and this is his paycheck now or something like that. Like they don't flat out say things that break the universe. They just acknowledge, like, hey, that person's over there now. And in the rare case of Mickie James coming to WWE for that Royal Rumble, they even acknowledge, like, she's the champ and whatnot. But, you know, they still follow the rules. So, fourth wall breaks. Similar thing, once again, it makes the nerdy people happy. I'm a huge nerd, so I love it when they do stuff like that. And honestly, some of the best storylines were the stuff that blurred the lines between fiction and reality. Let me bring you back 2011. One of the most famous WWE storylines, right? So, it's all about CM Punk and his revolution against the Authority. This is some interesting stuff, because this is probably the thing that CM Punk is most famous for, is this little speech he goes on, known as the pipe bomb. He drops the pipe bomb. Yeah, it's probably the most famous thing he did, and it was a speech he gave which, as he even said in his own words, he broke the fourth wall and started talking about real stuff that isn't necessarily just within their universe and is actually like real stuff going on. He starts off by talking to John Cena, who just got beat up in a match. He just lost a match, and he was the champion at the time. So CM Punk is the next guy in line to challenge John Cena for his championship. He comes out, he has his microphone, and he says, you know what, John? I don't really like you, and the reason I don't like you is because you get handed opportunity after opportunity. You're always stealing the spotlight from other people who are working much harder than you. You get handed opportunity after opportunity while other people are out here working harder, doing better jobs, and yet they still don't get the recognition that you get. And as it starts off, like, yeah, this could still be in his character, this could still make all sense in the universe, but slowly CM Punk starts to go into the more real stuff rather than just within their universe. And CM Punk straight up says the authority figures, and he names them out: Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, all those people calling the shots here. They're all idiots and the company would be better off without them. And once again, this could somewhat make sense in their universe, but it is kind of a harsh statement, and you're starting to question, like, what's really going on here? And as he goes on, it's clear he's being legit here. He's going off script. He's just spewing stuff that he feels about the company. He's just saying, hey, I honestly feel like people like John Cena get handed too many spotlights, too many opportunities, while other people are doing better work, working harder, and they just don't get the acknowledgement that John Cena gets. And it was pretty interesting stuff to think about, and it caught everyone off guard. And then the real thing that sold it was CM Punk tried to keep talking, and they actually cut his microphone off. They cut his mic off, and he couldn't keep talking anymore. And it was at that moment people knew, like, okay, this isn't a bit, this isn't fake. This guy's really talking about real stuff. It got so real that they had to cut him off so he couldn't say any more things. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. If you got, it's probably on YouTube. You can probably look it up. Look up CM Punk Pipe Bomb. You can find it. It's pretty interesting stuff, and it's pretty cool to see something like that happen. He just came out and spoke his stuff, and he just started talking about real world things, and it got intense. It got people's attention. So, this started a whole thing, a whole storyline between CM Punk, John Cena, and the authority figures, most specifically Triple H. So yeah, week later, CM Punk confronts Triple H, and they basically exchange their sides of the story. And what is so interesting about this is they kind of break their characters. They kind of stop being just characters, and they start being their actual people. They just are people sharing their side of a story. And it was very intriguing to see, because even though, yeah, when it comes to wrestling, like, yeah, so some bad guys are just so cool, you root for them and whatnot, but in the end, like, it's pretty black and white, like, these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. Maybe the bad guys are so cool, you still cheer for them and stuff like that. Or maybe, like, the bad guy still has a point and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, it usually is pretty black and white of, like, okay, these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. And this was one of the rare moments where it was like, there's not a good guy and a bad guy. They're all just people sharing their side of a story. It's pretty intriguing to hear everything. After CM Punk came out and he dropped his pipe bomb and said what he said, a lot of people pretty much just instantly said, like, okay, CM Punk's the good guy right now. He's spewing the facts. This is the good guy. We all are behind now. We all support him. But then when Triple H responds and he shares his side of the story, and he basically says, CM Punk, you are talented. You do good work here. And I applaud you for your good work. But the thing is, John Cena just is a fan favorite. He just has everyone on his side. Everyone buys his stuff, everyone supports him, everyone's on his side. He's just a fan favorite, especially with kids, and thus, he just earns the spotlight. He earns it. We don't hand it to him, he earns it. Because he just is that popular. He just is that big of a character that everyone wants to see more and more of him, and thus they just have to give him more and more of him. That's just how it is. And Triple H drops like a hard line of like, maybe CM Punk, maybe you're just not as good as you think you are, you know? And that was pretty interesting to hear. Like I said, a lot of people were behind CM Punk and were saying, like, okay, Triple H is the bad guy now, he's the bad guy abusing his authority, but then when you hear his side of the story, you're like, oh, maybe he actually has a point. And now it's just kind of up for debate. It's just people sharing their sides of the story and whatnot. There's not a clear good guy, bad guy. It's just people all sharing their perspective. And it got really interesting to see because, like I said, they started breaking character. They weren't necessarily actors playing characters anymore. They were just people confronting each other. And CM Punk, once again, goes all in to break the fourth wall, and he actually says their real names. He actually says, like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and this isn't CM Punk talking to Triple H. This is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levine. And that was a pretty intense moment. He just said both their real names. He broke character. He said, I'm not playing around anymore. This isn't part of the script or anything. This is literally, I am confronting you, and I want to beat you up for real. And that was pretty intense to see. So Triple H, played along with it. He went, he grabbed a mic, made sure it was on. Yeah, he was like, okay, this one's working. And he hands it to CM Punk, and he's like, I want to hear you say it. I want to hear what you have to say. Yeah, which went against, like, what the authority would have wanted. You're breaking the fourth wall. You're talking about things we shouldn't be talking about. And he was in on it and was like, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. And it was pretty intriguing stuff to hear. Yeah, it cut off again, so he couldn't talk, and he's just like, screw it, and then he just beat up Triple H, and that was that. But it was interesting to see something like this, to see so much of the fourth wall be blurred and see real problems happen between people, real world stuff influence the stories they're telling there. And we haven't really had similar things in quite some time. Maybe there's a one-liner here and there saying like, well, that one wrestler dumped your ass or something like that, like, or that's why your friend left you for the other company or something like that, a one-liner, stuff like that. The closest thing we kind of get now, although it's not a big part of the storyline or anything, there are teases in Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins matches where Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes will hit a pedigree, which is Triple H's move, and there's kind of tension there with Cody Rhodes and Triple H. Similar to CM Punk, they actually had like real beef, and that's why Cody Rhodes left WWE and created AEW, created his own company and did it his own way and whatnot, and now that he's back, they're hinting at like, ooh, imagine if this was the move to defeat Cody Rhodes, Talking about the fourth wall breaks and how interesting those can be, and honestly it is an interesting tool that I think they should use more often, because we're all aware of the stuff around us. Why not use it? Why not acknowledge it? Why not do stuff like that? I was told to have a sign-off catchphrase thing. I'll go with the one I used in a while back, a few videos back. Make McChickens, not war. Hello everyone. I just wanted to come out and thank everyone for supporting me. I've been really enjoying making these videos, following my passions and all that, and I just wanted to thank those who made it possible. So thank you, all of you, for supporting me, watching my stuff. You guys are the best. We're the strongest team out there. Thank you, everyone. Whoa, 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 whoa. I am Gabe the Street Preacher. The Word of God will set you all free. You're out here talking about a powerful group with your people here and all that stuff. There's one thing most powerful in the world, and that is this book right here. The Holy Book is more powerful than anything. So please,
That book can be
you
powerful.
need to leave, and we
But
need
only
to let
if
the
someone
powerful book
powerful
do
is
its
holding it.
job and be powerful. And you aren't worthy of holding it. You disrespect people. You don't accept others. You know, you just don't deserve to be the one holding it. So, I've made a video on you in the past. Well, how about we just have a little match right here and set everything straight, huh? You know what?
And Sebastian gave the Street Preacher. Let's see it. Oh, he extends the hand. Let's see the handshake. Oh, a boot to the head. How disrespectful. And Sebastian counters with the rainbow kick. Oh, wow. It would be insulting for Gabe to lose to rainbow moves. Gabe returns the favor of his own kick. Oh, a stiff elbow. He is out of there. Oh my god, Gabe is just unloading on it. Gabe's got the holy book. Is he gonna hit him with it? Oh no. And what a counter! A hip throw by N. Sebastian. And Sebastian's got a rainbow flag. He taps, he taps. And your winner, N. Sebastian.